told me... What are you doing here?
He isn't here yet, huh?
I have told you that there isn't anybody else.
You say that to me right here in this place?
Oh, and why don't you ask me why I'm here?
I don't have to ask you anything. I know why you're here.
I'm here because Maria's sick, and she needs my help.
Good Samaritan? To a servant I fired for thieving?
She was kind to me. That's why I helped her.
In the middle of the night, when I'm supposed to be away on business.
Would you have ever let me come here any other time?
And that? I suppose that's for Maria. Take you home.
We're both all right, I guess. How you doing, old boy, huh? Stumble there, did you? Huh? Old Coco's getting a little old for his work, ain't he? What do you mean, old? He just stepped in the chuck hole back there, that's all.
Yeah, I've been noticing. A lot more holes around here than there used to be.
Maybe there are, maybe there are.
You know, that trip you're going on tomorrow, that ain't no Sunday ride through back pasture.
What do you mean?
Well, meaning I broke in that new stallion you like. Won't you take him along tomorrow? Give you a chance to get to know one another.
Big Duke?
Sure.
Oh, maybe you're right, Maybe old Coco here does need a rest. Maybe you're right.
Well, yeah, old Coco here, he's earned retiring twice over.
Retiring? Who said anything about retiring?
Not me. Old Big Duke, you know, he's got a lot younger outlook. May even be able to give you a more personal hand at picking out them brood mares, huh? Well, he's all ready for you, Nick.
Who's that?
Big Duke, he's all saddled and ready to go.
Big Duke, what's the matter with Coco? Is
Nothing's the matter with Coco. He's fine, just fine.
He just needs a little rest, that's all. How old's he getting to be now?
I wouldn't know, but he's not as ancient as you seem to think he is.
He's 22.
At least I remember seeing a picture of the two of you when you were both skinny, Coco.
You remember? I remember. First 2 months, he used to throw me twice a day.
Well, he's about holding to that average now.
Now, wait a minute, Heath. What happened yesterday was an accident. I told you that. He stepped in a chuck hole. I know Coco. A man grows up with his horse. He knows that animal. Besides, old Coco will be cutting cattle long after this Big Duke of yours is in a rocking chair.
Well, Nick, I know how hard it's going to be for you to have to put him out to pasture, but...
Pasture? Who said anything about pasture? Besides, I've got to go across the desert, and old Coco can smell out water better than any camel. So you can take your Big Duke and unsaddle him and, well, whatever. I'll be back in a couple of days, man.
Talk about stubborn.
mistaken.
Come on.
Drop your gun, Bill.
You make much of a living this way, mister?
Just do what I say. Now, you just come along with us.
Could you just tell me where we're going?
You'll find out soon enough. All right, let's move out. Get down.
Say you're making a pretty big mistake, mister.
No, I think you've made one.
Welcome to the club. It'll take 5 sticks of dynamite to blow your way through that window.
What's all this about, anyway?
You've got no right. This is the United States.
We got the same treatment you did. They didn't give us no reason or nothing. My name's Gandy.
Barkley, Nick Barkley.
This here's Bodkin.
You sure they locked that door?
You let me out of here! You've got no right! Let me out!
You're making some kind of mistake, mister. I ain't done you no harm.
I think it best you explain all this.
This one, I would think.
Well, the Apache could find out for sure soon enough.
What's your name?
What's yours?
I'm Ben Dawes. I own this country about as far as your eye can see. And the people who live on it, mostly.
Mr. Dawes, I was just riding through here, minding my own business, and all I want to do is just keep on going.
Take a look out that window. Oh, go on. What do you see?
Horses? Just horses.
A bit more, I should think.
They all have white manes.
Exactly.
So?
Last night, I almost caught a man riding such a horse. He had been with my wife.
Your wife?
Today, my men searched the valley and the town. There are 3 men riding horses with white manes.
Look at me. I'm no ladies' man. You can see for yourself.
Look, I swear I never set eyes on your woman. I don't want to. Meaning no offense, of course.
Never set foot in this country until this morning.
All innocent. But one of you's him. Best the other 2 find out who he is. Let me know.
And if we don't?
When the sun tops the mountains tomorrow, you'll all hang together.
You'll never get away with it.
I will. I'm the law here, and the judge. As far as you can see in any direction.
It's you, isn't it? I saw her, you know.
What?
When they brought me in. She was standing in the window in the house.
Yeah? What does she look like?
She's something, all right.
Yeah?
Like one of them China dolls. All soft, white, silk, lace. No wonder that old man is out to hang somebody.
What makes you think it's him? Huh?
Look at him. Young. Good looking. I sure ain't no lady killer. Neither are you. Getting right down to it. She'd sure go for his kind, all right.
That'll be enough out of you, little man. We don't need any kind of this loose talk around here at this minute, do you think?
No, it was not him.
Young and handsome.
Did you find it pleasant?
Can I, do something for you, Mr. Dawes?
No, Tony. Thanks, anyway.
Beautiful tonight. It's almost like daylight.
Yeah. Yeah, it's what we used to call a hunter's moon. Enough light, proper season, the right prey.
You really gonna go through with it, Mr. Dawes?
I have to.
When?
Daybreak. Lord works in mysterious ways. He takes. But he gives. And I'm grateful. My own blood son couldn't stand quite as tall in my shadow as you do.
Let me do the job for you.
Oh, no.
Keep your hands clean
no,
of it.
Tony, no. Look, all that out there is all going to be yours one day to make something out of it. That'll be your job. That back there's mine, and mine alone.
I must say, for a man that's about to hang, you don't look too worried.
Well, as a matter of fact, I'm not too worried. As a matter of fact, I know how to get out of here.
You never said so before.
Yep, well, I'm saying so now. What do you got in mind?
Get out of my way, Berkeley! Mine!
It is him. Just like I said right from the beginning. Al said he was the one.
Come on, get Dawes down here. Start yelling.
There's your man, Mr. Dawes. He said so himself.
That's right. That's right. I heard him.
You're lying!
Oh, yeah, he was bragging about it. Only he said he wasn't going to die by himself. He said we was all going to hang together. Of course, I knowed it was him even before he said it. The way they looked at each other when she was down there. Of course, you saw that all yourself, Mr. Dawes. You saw them together. Well, there's your man.
It figured to be like that. Get these two on their horses and get them out of here. Bragged about it. I let the others go.
But they're all innocent because I'm innocent. Can't you understand
You're
that?
going to beg for his life now?
Ben, please. No, please, why won't
Why didn't I just leave you where I found you?
Ben, there isn't any man but you.
No more. From now on, you're a prisoner. This house is your jail. You're going to be watched every second and followed every step, day and night. And there's going to be no man at all, for as long as you live.
help you.
How?
My husband's a madman, and well, you saw how he was, and he's going to kill both of us.
All right, just get me out of the cell here.
Well, will you help me?
All right, all right.
I know the way out. Will you take me with you? Just anywhere, out of his reach.
All right, but how do you get me out of the cell?
Here.
Huh?
The key to the door.
Good.
No, but there's a guard up there. The Apache.
Well, here goes. So you got to you?
No.
Let me take a look at it.
Well, it's only a scratch.
Looks pretty deep to me.
Come on, hurry. We've got to go.
All right. Take it easy. All right. Come on.
This way.
Looks to me like you're the doctor. Is there one close?
Yes, he's in town about 5 miles. I'm sorry.
It's all right.
Miss Dawes, come in. Sit over here. Oh, my. My. Let me see. It's a nice, clean wound. You're gonna be all right, Miss Dawes. You must be that fellow Ben Dawes is looking for. You won't get very far. We'll keep this bound up tight.
Why not?
You won't have any stitches in there. Well, 100 horses couldn't take you far enough away if Ben Dawes got his mind set on catching you.
Oh, I don't know. I think I'll make it.
And if you was figuring on taking her with you, you ain't. And I suppose you was figuring on taking her with you.
You suppose right.
Look, Dr. Ben was wrong about him. I just met him today.
Well, be pretty hard convincing him of that now, wouldn't it?
We could have just waited around until Ben hung him.
Yep. That's gonna be as good as new in a couple of days now. You just sit there. Hey, you drink some of this. Make you feel better. You know, there's no stopping Ben Dawes. You may have to kill him.
Well, now, I just might have to do that.
There'll be a lot of folks maybe not appreciate that.
Meaning you.
Well, you may not like what you see in me now, but you'd have liked me a lot less 7 years ago before I met Ben Dawes.
Well, the Ben Dawes I knew would murder 3 men, guilty or innocent.
Yeah. It's hard to figure. Man I know picked a bum out of the gutter and put some manhood back in his spine.
Oh, I see. What you're saying is one good turn makes up for all the bad ones.
No, as a matter of fact, this ain't the first time he's done something like that. Now, you take that young Tony Semper. The young fella just drifting along, becoming a real no good. Ben Dawes picked him up, treated him like his own son, grooming him to step into his own boots when the time comes.
What would you have us do, Doctor? Sing praises to the great Ben Dawes while he hangs us from the nearest tree?
No. As a matter of fact, I hope you make it, both of you.
Well, you best be going.
Miss Dawes, I'm not going to alert your husband. Man's got to pay for his own debts out of his own pocket, not out of somebody else's.
All right, come on.
One of them was cut, sure enough.
Just the beginning of their suffering, boy.
You know, I never really believed it, Mr. Dawes. I never believed she was guilty, but she helped him escape. She even went off with it.
Just tell the boys it's $100 to the man who kills Barkley. Followed a trail, Doctor, right here to your house. You had visitors during the night?
I did, sir.
My wife was one of them.
She was hurt. I fixed a cut on her arm.
Did you know they were running away?
Yes, I did. Thank you for that, Ben. I won't have to feel sorry for you anymore.
Time you needed help, I gave it. And when you had no friends, I became one. And now, when I get back, I want you gone out of this valley. You understand me?
I'll be gone, Mr. Dawes.
Doctor, you helped them. Why?
Because I'm a doctor, not a judge. I'm a man. I'm not some kind of a god.
Something wrong with him, Nick?
Oh, Coco here needs a little rest. Yeah. Not as young as he used to be, you know. But he'll be all right. He'll be fine.
Okay. I guess you're probably wondering about a lot of things.
Oh, you can tell me about that sometime.
No, you've already deserved the right to know. It wasn't always like this between Ben and me. Well, he was different when I first met him in San Francisco.
So where you from, San Francisco?
Yeah. I never knew my parents. I was brought up by an aunt and one of my uncles. That was a very unhappy time. Then along came Ben Dawes. He was on town on business, and he was just everything I'd always dreamed of.
So you married him?
Yes. I loved him because he was big and strong and mature. And because he said he loved me. And he brought me here to his castle. I thought I was going to be Cinderella. But this castle turned out to be a dungeon, a prison.
Oh, no. Wait a minute. You don't have to go into all this, you know.
No, I want to. Well, it's because of me you got into all of this anyway. It won't take long. There's not much more. See, Ben changed. He became mean and cruel and jealous. And he never let me see anyone but the ranch hands and the people in town. And as you well know, he owns every single one of them. All those beautiful dreams he's gonna make come true for me. They're all gone. They're just gone. I'm sorry.
Now, wait a minute. You know what? If we expect to get anywhere, we better get going before sunset, don't you think? Huh? Come on.
You're right.
Come on.
What is it, Nick?
Just a little breather is all. Oh, now don't worry, we'll make it. Right now, I'd say we all need a rest. Don't you?
I guess I'm not very much help, am I?
Oh, well, now, you're too pretty to have to work.
I don't think I ever left the city till I met Ben.
Well, that was just my luck.
I like the city. I like all the lights and the fancy places to eat. I had 2 weeks of that when we were first married.
It's all still there, you know.
No. I think it's too late now.
Oh, no. You know what they say, it's never too late.
You really think so? I mean, to be a silly little girl again?
Or a woman. I think maybe those beans are just about ready. You better dive in there.
Aren't you going to eat?
In a minute. I just shouldn't have brought old Coco along on this trip. Guess he's just a little bit too old for all this.
How bad is he, Nick?
Well, I'd say he's he'll never get within 10 miles of that pony of yours. Juliet, you sure you know the way out of here?
Yes.
All right, then. Tomorrow morning, first thing, you hit the trail. You and that horse of yours get out of here as fast as you can.
You mean alone?
It's the only way. Now, you make twice the time we made today. And by tomorrow evening, you'll be safe and sound.
No, Nick.
I said yes.
I'm not going anywhere without you.
You best have some of them beans. You've got a long day tomorrow. You're going to need a lot of strength.
Nick. The answer's still no.
Looks like they're gaining on us. Easy, old fella. Easy, boy. Easy, boy. What's the matter, Coco? Think you can make it? Come on, let's try it. Huh? Come on. Come on. Come on, Coco. Come on.
Leading them a fool's climb. I know a shorter way around to that top.
horse fell.
I see.
Well, I'm sorry I ran out on you. I was just afraid, all right?
That's all right.
Where are you going?
I'm not gonna let that horse stay down there.
But...
Now, you wait here. You hear me? You wait right here.
All right, but hurry back.
What's he doing?
An act of mercy.
All right. I want him dead.
Tried to kill me.
Why?
Tony,
Why?
You've picked yourself quite a pair, Mr. Dawes. Juliet and me. With her dead, you'd never have known. It was her idea. The house in town, the medicine, in case you ever found out. She's a clever girl, Juliet.
Tony, not you.
It was me and her all the time. I'm sorry.
Now, you tell me about the horse with the white mane.
That was your own horse. Tony rode him that night. We always used to ride him. Oh, Ben, you're getting old. You don't remember things very good anymore. And you don't see things very good anymore either. You hear me? You're an old man.
Would you get her out of here? Thank you for not letting her horse suffer.
Welcome home.
Wait till you see those broodmares I brought back with me. They're out in the corral.
Well, looks like you had a rough trip.
Oh, just average.
Well, it took 3 more days than you planned. Why?
Well, as a matter of fact,
I'll bet he met a pretty young girl somewhere.
I did.
I thought so. I think I'll look at those mares you've been talking about.
Well, I imagine you'll tell us all about it. That is when you feel like it.
Well, as soon as I get old Coco here bedded down, he had such a time chasing down them brood mares, he's just a little bit done in.
What about Coco?
Well, he'll be staying here for a while. No more long, hard rides, just a lot of good rest. I guess sometimes the best way to hold on to something is to let it go. Know what I mean?
Yes, Nick. I know.
Using dynamite?
Yes, sir. You familiar with it?
Moderately. I know it's tricky compared with gunpowder. What's the project?
The irrigation ditch. We got water on the other side. We aim to bring it down into the valley.
Glasses, Sergeant.
Sir.
You'd be using that defile. First charge at the top, second near the bottom should do it.
Yes, sir. Just about a minute in between. You a demolition man?
Hardly.
Excuse me, sir. But would you be, by any chance, Major Jonathan Elliott?
I am.
Could I... Would it be okay if we shook hands, sir? I'm mighty proud to know you. Excuse me, sir. Morning, ladies. Sorry I got to stop. They'll be blown to bits. Hold it, Major. Stop! He'll never make it.
I'm betting he will.
Hang on, Audra! Hang on! I can't hold him, Audra! Jump! Audra.
Yes.
It's my leg. I can't make it. Run. Run, Audra. I can't make it.
Nick, I think that's the best-looking woman I've seen you with in a long time.
Mother, Silas has fixed up the guest bedroom.
But first, Madame is going to try the latest thing in Barclay buggies. Right this way.
Guaranteed to stop and turn better than any cutting horse.
And I have some new magazines for you to read.
Oh,
Thank you.
well, you all keep this up, I may decide never to get well.
If I know you, you'll be tearing up and down those stairs under your own steam within 2 weeks.
Well, I certainly hope so. I know I'm very grateful to Major Elliott. Oh, I hope someone thought of inviting him for dinner.
I did. As a matter of fact, he should be here any minute.
Good.
Oh, that must be him now.
Audrey, your nose is shiny.
Is it?
No, on second thought, I think it's your eyes. Hello, Silas.
Come in, Major.
Thank you. I hope I'm not late.
No, sir, you're right on time and mighty welcome.
Hello, Major. Jared. Howdy. Hello, Nick.
Major.
Good to see you again, Mrs. Barclay. Miss Audra, you both look just fine.
Please, sit down.
Thank you.
Major, you have no idea how nice it is to see you. Only, how does one thank a man for doing what you did?
By not mentioning it again, please. Seeing you, all of you, is ample payment.
Well, it's nice seeing you again, Major. And if you'll excuse me, I have a few things to tend to.
Of course. Audra, why don't you pour the Major a cup of coffee? What's your assignment going to be here?
Locating 5 acres of suitable land within easy riding distance of Stockton for a supply depot, preferably near water.
That sounds like the North 40 to me, and it's not very far from the river.
Well, that's fine. I'll make that my first stop.
And why don't you make our home your headquarters while you're here? There's plenty of room for you and your orderly.
Wouldn't want to impose?
It's no imposition at all, believe me, Major.
And I could be your guide, if you'd like.
Well, in that case, I accept. With your permission, of course, Mrs. Barclay.
Permission granted, Major.
And just how long are we going to be around here anyway, Major?
Oh, it's hard to tell. Listen, I've got an idea. You're not really needed here. Why don't you go up to San Francisco and stay at the Palace and enjoy yourself for a few days? A treat's on me, of course.
Well, thank you now. But I don't think I will.
Suit yourself.
Where would we be going now?
Not we, me. I'm going to look at that land.
Alone?
I'll have a guide.
A guide? It wouldn't be the girl now, would it, Major?
We won't discuss it.
Come off it, Elliot. Why do you think I want to stay around here? That'll do, Sergeant.
Major?
Yes, sir, Major. I'll have the other horses saddled in a moment, sir.
Very good, Sergeant. Very good. Good morning, Miss Audra. A handsome view. Is it always like this?
It's especially lovely this time of year.
Where every prospect pleases, and only man is vile.
A soldier who reads poetry?
It has sustained me from time to time when everything else has failed. May we rest here for a moment?
I've been reading Swinburne.
Oh, yes.
Are you familiar with his work?
My favorite lines are from the Garden of Proserpine.
Here where the world is quiet.
No, another stanza.
Which one?
From
Too much love of living. From hope and fear set free, we thank with brief thanksgiving whatever gods may be, that no life lives forever, that dead men rise up never, that even the weariest river winds somewhere safe to sea. Obviously, that's not your favorite stanza.
No. It's too dark, too hopeless.
And your world is full of hope. Full of bright and beautiful sunshine, isn't it?
I like to think so.
Does the Major have any further orders for me, sir?
No, Sergeant. We'll be moving on now.
Very funny. More beef, Sergeant.
No, thank you, ma'am. It's the finest meal I've ever had, but I'm all full up.
Well, you figure the land in the North Pasture is what you're interested in, eh?
Well, it's the best I've seen so far, but I'd like to scout around some more, if you don't mind.
Oh, Ed Masters wants to know if he can come out and do an interview on you for our local newspaper.
Only if I can't avoid it.
That's one of the prices of fame, I'm afraid, Major.
And a waste of time. I gave an interview several months ago in St. Louis. The reporter wanted to know all the gory details of old battles, while I wanted to talk about the things that concern me today. The interview was a fiasco, of course.
What are the things that concern you, Major?
I'm sure we'd all be interested.
Our cities have become cesspools of ice, and the corruption is spreading throughout the entire land.
Well, now, do you really feel that way, Major?
Yes, and it's one battle I'd be eager to fight.
I've told the Major he should run for public office.
That'll do, Sergeant.
Oh, try our wine. It's from our own vineyards.
Thank you.
Begging the Major's pardon. No wine for you, sir.
Surely just a half a glass, Sergeant.
Oh, no, sir. The regimental surgeon gave me strict instructions. Alcohol for medicinal purposes only, and only in an emergency.
McQuaid is my faithful watchdog. And he's right, of course. My old wounds sometimes prohibit my simple pleasures.
Do you want to hang? Because I can arrange it any time you like, Major, and you know it. So here are your orders, Major. Number 1, you stay away from the Barclay girl.
Don't dirty her name by mentioning it.
Oh, you're a real little leprechaun, aren't you, my love? Order number 2, you stay away from the booze. Even you should know better by this time.
Get out.
Ah, get out. Happens to be order number 3. You stop your stalling, you finish your business, and you get out. Because if you don't, I may not be able to save your skin this time. Do you understand? So say good night. And I'll be seeing you in the morning, Major.
I'm gonna get you. I'm gonna get me a gun and I'm gonna get you.
You're gonna go sleep it off. Now get out of here, Crowley, and don't come back.
I'll get you. I'm gonna get me a gun. I'll be back.
It's getting late, and we're getting ready to close up. So if you don't mind, sir, Major Elliott.
We've met?
Well, not exactly, but I was with the 7th at Dollar Creek. Oh. If you want a drink, it's on the house, Major.
Well, thank you, but you buy yourself a drink and bring me a bottle, please.
Yes, sir, Major.
Hello, Major. They call me Cora around here.
Good evening.
And getting on towards morning, I got me a room upstairs, out across the alley. If you'd like to do your drinking there.
Get away from me.
You heard him, Cora. Beat it. The best in the house. Pennsylvania rye whiskey.
That'll be just fine. To the brave men of Dollar Creek.
Yes, sir.
Excellent. My compliments.
Oh, my pleasure, Major. And we'll be open as long as you care to stay.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
I didn't expect you tonight, Major.
I didn't figure you'd expect me, Meg.
Meg? Oh, it's me, Cora. Remember? You want me to play like I'm this, Meg. Now, what was she like?
Mm-hmm. I know you, Meg. Did you think I'd ever forget?
Major, I think you had a little bit too much to drink. I'm gonna make it all right. It's a little cold in here, Major. Would you shut the door?
Morning.
Good morning, Audra. Morning, Audra. You and the Major going out again this morning?
After breakfast.
Did you know, Jared, that Major Elliott started out as a rear rank private? Do tell. Right.
2 months later, he was a sergeant, he was commissioned in the field, and he finished the war as a captain. Before he came here, he commanded a garrison at Tucson.
Now, somehow I should have known that she would know all that. Is the sergeant going along with you?
I suppose so.
Somehow I figured that. There's not too much the Major can do without the sergeant.
Sergeant McQuaid is his orderly.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I'm sorry I overslept. It's something I rarely do.
Oh, there's no need to apologize. I'm just glad you had a good night's rest.
Actually, I didn't get to sleep till almost dawn. When I did, I slept like a child.
Well, I've got to get out and prod those hired hands. Now that Heath is up in San Francisco, it leaves all the work to me. There'll be no gallivanting around now. Here? All right. Bye-bye. Major.
Well, I'm afraid I have to be on my way, too. Mother, you are under strict orders to have a good day.
Fine.
You too, Major.
Thank you. I'm sure I will. I envy you your family, Mrs. Barclay. My father died when I was a boy, and I never did have any brothers or sisters.
And your mother?
My mother. Oh, she's living in Mexico now. I suppose I did have a family of sorts when I was growing up. My mother kept a roof over our heads by running a lodging house. So there were always plenty of people around. Men from all over the world. That gave me an education. I suppose I didn't appreciate it at the time. Yes, my mother gave me quite a head start in life.
Do you have pictures of her?
No, but she was beautiful. She was the toast of the lodging house. I remember people used to call her by her first name. And so did I when I was quite small. Folks used to think that was funny, and I guess it was.
What was her name?
Meg.
Well, hello, Fred. Come on in.
Morning, Jared.
What brings you out our way?
I've got to see Major Elliott.
Oh, what about?
You remember a girl worked at the Gold Eagle named Cora?
Yeah?
She was murdered last night. The bartender says that you were one of the last people to see Cora alive, Major.
I was in town last night. How did she die?
She was strangled. Whoever did it put his brand on her.
His brand? What do you mean?
The letter A was burned into her shoulder with a match or lit cigar.
Wasn't there a book by Hawthorne, The Scarlet Letter, where the heroine was forced to wear the letter A?
Why?
She was accused of being an adulteress.
That's it.
Oh, Major, how did it happen you were at the Gold Eagle so early this morning?
I couldn't sleep. You recall my exchange with McQuaid about the wine last night?
Yes, I do.
Well, I'm still carrying some Confederate lead around in me, and it's painful. When it hurts too much and I can't sleep, alcohol will usually do the trick. However, our regimental surgeon prefers that I abstain until times of real need. Last night was one of those times.
Major, was there anyone else in the saloon?
Just the bartender and the unfortunate girl when I arrived. The bartender was alone when I left.
Jared, you remember Judd Crowley?
Judd Crowley? Yeah, he used to work for us about a year ago.
Yeah, that's the one. He's been helping out over at Kane's stable recently. The bartender says that Judd was giving Cora fits about something or other most of the night. So bad he had to throw him out just about the time you arrived.
Yes, I remember now. He was so drunk he could hardly stand on his feet.
Did you hear him threaten anyone?
He said he was going to get a gun and come back.
Yeah, that checks. Now, by any chance, did you happen to see him later?
Well, as I recall, there's a stairway outside the building across the alley from the saloon.
That's right. Go on.
I have no idea where it leads. As I was leaving, I saw a man walking up those stairs. I remember because I wondered who else would be out that late.
Was it Crowley?
It was.
Thank you, sir.
It's Tucson all over again. Everything's exactly the same.
We're all right. They don't suspect me. And I give you my oath it won't happen again.
Your oath? Don't make me laugh, Major.
Yes, I'm rid of that feeling. I'm cleansed. Look in my eyes. It's out of my system.
Until you get your hands on a jug again. You are a blooming maniac.
I'm not. That's not true. I was a hero during the war. I risked my life time and time again. Look at some of these medals.
The war's over, Major. And that won't wash out what you've done to these innocent girls.
Innocent. They were filth, and the world's a better place without them.
Oh, really? And just what did they ever do to you?
They exist.
That's no answer, Major.
Sergeant, I'm going to tell you a story. Want a surprise? I'm going to tell you about my mother.
I'm not interested in your mother.
My mother ran the most popular boarding house in the city, and it wasn't because of the quality of the rooms. Do you have any idea what it's like for a little boy to find that out about his mother? To hear dirty jokes? To be pointed out with a wink and a smirk? Do you want to hear more?
Where are you going? You take it easy. Anything happens to me, and they open a letter that puts a rope around your neck.
I don't think so. You could have turned me in after Tucson, but you didn't. Because you were a rear private with a bad record and no future. You wanted to climb aboard a gravy train, get a promotion, be my orderly, live my kind of life, share my money.
That's not how it happened. You begged me. You told me that I'd be a fool to pass up such a chance.
You tell that to a court and see where it gets you.
All right. You win. But there's got to be no more killing.
Oh, I told you there wouldn't be anyone else. Oh, it's over now. Over.
I pray that it is, Major.
Now, you just relax and enjoy your stay here. You may never have another opportunity to be at such a fine place.
All right. But doesn't the Major think that it's time for us to leave this place?
The Major does not. The Major has plans.
Plans?
Audra Barkley, Sergeant. I've never met anyone like her before. With her, I feel it would change everything.
Are you serious, man?
Yes, I am. She will be my salvation. She's pure. I feel I can fully and finally cleanse myself with her.
We're off. Are you sure you're going to be all right?
Just fine.
Good. Major, why don't you join us? Where are you going? Well, it's just the Cattlemen Association meeting, but we usually cut that short and sweet and get into the most cutthroat poker game you've ever seen.
Thank you, but I think I'll just stay here and keep the ladies company if you don't mind.
Well, all right.
Jared, don't keep a kicker.
Never. Where's Nick?
Where's Jared?
There's Nick.
And you, Nick, don't draw to an inside straight.
Oh, no, not me. I learned not to do that from you. You who beat me out of $5, remember? Well, that's very pretty playing, miss. Very pretty.
That's because you have no ear for music.
You are absolutely right. Major?
Nick, will you come on?
All right.
Oh, I'm sorry. I hope you ladies don't mind.
Not a bit.
Well, now, Jared, you ready to lose the east wing of the Barkley Ranch?
Please don't stop. Not now.
You've heard my entire repertoire. Besides, it's time for coffee.
Mrs. Barkley.
Hmm?
I'm going to marry your daughter.
I beg your pardon.
I said I'm going to marry your daughter. I hope this pleases you.
Major, well, we all admire you very much, and we are very grateful to you for what you have done, but...
Am I to understand that you're rejecting me?
Oh, no, no, no. In the final analysis, Audra's wishes are all that important. But you barely know each other. Aren't you being a bit hasty?
Hasty? Well, who knows how much life is left for you, for me, for anyone? Can't you see?
What's the matter?
She is opposed to our marriage.
Our marriage?
Yes. I won't permit it. I respect your mother, Audra, but our future together is really all that matters.
I'm sorry, but I don't love you. In fact, I barely know you. It takes time.
Time? There is no time. I thought you were different, but perhaps not. Perhaps there's another man. Lots of men. I thought you were pure, but... With your permission, ladies, I shall remove my unwelcome presence.
I've never seen him act like that.
Oh, Audra, he's a strange man. A very strange man.
Evening, Jared.
Oh, Fred.
Join me in a bite?
No, thanks. Coffee hot?
Sure, help yourself.
How are you doing with Judd Crowley?
Oh, you mean has he confessed? No, as a matter of fact, he keeps hollering he didn't do it.
What do you think, Fred?
You know it doesn't make any difference what I think, Jared. It's up to the judge and the jury.
I mean just between us.
Well, all right. He's making a believer out of me, Jared. If it wasn't for Major Elliott identifying him the way he did, I don't think I'd even be holding him.
You mind if I have a little talk with him?
No, wish you would. Judge, you got a visitor. Call when you're through.
Thanks, Fred. Hello, Judd.
What do you want, Barkley?
Just a little conversation.
How come?
Well, might be that I could help you.
The last help I got from a Barkley was a boot in the seat of my britches.
That's because you were drunk, Judd. Mean, fighting drunk just once too often. Nick warned you about it. You didn't listen.
Well, I've been doing this fine without the Barkleys, thank you.
Sure you have. That's why you're lying here in jail, booked on suspicion of murder.
I didn't do it.
I suppose you tell me about it.
Some people get all the breaks, that's all. I've been kicked around all my life.
Did you go back to Cora's room after the saloon closed?
No.
Major Elliott said he saw you going up the stairs.
The only thing I can figure, well, he must have seen somebody that looks a whole lot like me.
Light must have been pretty poor, right, Judd?
Well, that's the answer. That's the whole thing right there in a nutshell, ain't it?
Judd, if it comes down to your word or the Major's, you realize whose word the jury's going to take, don't you?
Yeah. But I didn't kill that girl. I couldn't kill anybody. Least of all her.
You were drunk.
Yes, I was drunk. And I was talking mean. That's all it was, just a lot of talk.
Judd, were you in Tucson, Arizona about a year ago?
I never been to Tucson in my life. I was working for you a year ago, remember?
Does the letter A mean anything to you?
What are you talking about? I never learned how to read and write. Mr. Barkley, I'm going to tell you something. You probably ain't going to believe it.
Why don't you try me, Judd?
I was in love with that girl. I wanted her to marry me. She wouldn't do it. That's why I got so drunk. That's why I got thrown out of that place.
Tell me something, Judd. Do you feel that she was pure enough for marriage?
She was a good girl. She just never had no decent chance, that's all.
I don't mean any offense, Judd.
I wasn't good enough for her. Anyway, what difference does it make? I reckon she's gone now.
Fred?
Well, what do you think?
I agree with you. He didn't do it.
You gonna defend him?
Maybe, if it comes to that. Fred, do you remember hearing about the murder of a dance hall girl in Tucson, Arizona about a year ago?
No. Should I?
No? No reason why you should. It's just that I read a couple of lines in the San Francisco newspaper about it.
Well, the girls are getting beaten up and killed sometimes. It's not what you might call an easy trade.
Yeah, but this was special.
How special?
She was strangled and branded with the letter A.
Want this to go with the sheriff of Tucson, Arizona.
That's right.
Saloon girl murdered and branded. Your town, approximately 1 year ago, is criminal still at large. Urgently request immediate answer and details of crime. Collect, care of this office. Signed, Fred Madden, Sheriff. You gonna wait on this?
We'll be over the Gold Eagle.
Rush it over just the second it comes in, will you, Nate?
Yes, sir, Mr. Barkley.
I was wondering when you were going to try it, Sergeant.
I don't know what the major is suggesting.
The Major is suggesting that the Major would be no harm to the Sergeant when dead, and therefore incapable of contradicting whatever story the Sergeant chose to tell the authorities.
No, sir. I was just trying to keep you out of any further trouble by forcing you to leave. I figured if you stayed here much longer...
To the brave men of Dollar Creek.
Thanks, Nate.
That Tucson gal died the same way poor Cora did, Sheriff. And they never caught the man that did it.
Let's go, Fred.
Major Elliott? Major, I thought I heard him...
You're impatient, aren't you, Meg? I was just coming to get you. Meg? Where are all your men now, Meg? They used you and they joked about it. But they can't help you now, can they, Meg? I loved you, Meg. I could kill you quickly, you know. But I won't. Because you must be punished. The whole world must know what you are.
No! No!
Say, Nick, do you see what I see?
And just what do you think you're doing?
Demonstrating the fact I'm no longer an invalid. I may even cook dinner for you tonight. He's coming home. Audra, I made it all by myself.
I don't believe it.
I did.
She certainly did. Well.
All right, you two, what's going on?
Well, we just got through talking to the Army. Seems they're very well satisfied with the North 40.
Oh?
Of course, we told them we didn't think so, but we'd let them know.
Well, why not? It would be good for the town and good for us, too, wouldn't it?
Atta girl, Audra. Nick, what do you say we take care of that little thing?
All righty. Bye, Mother. Audra.
I guess they were afraid they'd stir up some bad memories.
You know, it's strange, Mother. He was so brave and yet so gentle. I wonder what changed him into another man.
I don't know, Audra. I don't know. Because they were...
I'll tell you what I think. I think them stinking Murphy boys are the one that scattered them. You don't want to know why? I'll tell you why. Because they happen to know we're in the middle of a roundup, and they're just mean enough to spook them out on us.
That's what you think, huh?
That is what I think. I also think I ought to go over there and bash a couple of Murphy heads together.
Well, you're getting so heated up, I think you ought to do that.
I just might do that. You want to come along?
No, thanks.
Well, I'll go alone then.
You know, Nick, sometimes you get so brave, you scare me.
Yeah, well, now what are you staring at?
I wonder what those buzzards are staring at.
Well, there's one way to find out, isn't there?
I know. Let's go look.
All right, come on, get.
sorry, Nick. I know that's painful. Here now. Drink this. Now, lie back. Don't twist around. Best to leave those scratches uncovered. All right, Nick?
Good night, Nick.
Well, you've been talking about having a vacation. Here you are. You can sleep all day and have your meals served to you in bed. I'll get you a bell and you can ring it when you're hungry.
What?
I've been trying to tell you how lucky you are. Nick? Are you all right?
Fine.
Sure you are.
How is he?
Well, he's got 3 broken ribs and some nasty lacerations on his legs and chest.
That cat did quite a job on him.
Quite a job. Knowing Nick, however, he'll probably decide the whole thing was nothing at all and be trying to kick up his heels in a day or two. But don't let him. Keep him in bed for 3 days at least. Then slowly let him get up and move around. He'll be all right if you don't let him push it.
Doctor, he seems so strange.
Yes, what is it? He looks at you, but it's as if he isn't seeing you.
Well, that's only natural. He's still in a state of shock. He'll pull out of it all right. I'll look in on him tomorrow. Maybe around lunchtime, if you still have some of that pickled goose at the cooler.
You've just gotten yourself an invitation.
Good. In the meantime, Victoria, get yourself some sleep. Good night.
Thank you.
Nah, don't you worry. Doc's right. If I know Nick, he'll be up and around in no time.
Well, I'll never complain about his hollering around the house again.
Now, be careful. In a day or two, you might have to eat those words.
Come on, let's get some sleep.
Get him out of me! Easy! Get him off of me! Get him off of me! Get him out! Get him out of me!
You're right. Must have been dreaming. You raised me about a foot off the floor. Sorry. Sorry. Can I get you anything?
No. You go back to bed. I'll be fine. Go on back to bed. It's okay.
You rest easy here.
Well, well, look at him. I'd say he's practically ready for a foot race.
A short walk to the breakfast table will do for today.
He might be a little stiff on the outside, but his belly must be working all right.
Empty sack won't stand up, you know. Spoken like a true Barkley. Take more than a little old pussycat to keep Nick down, huh?
Personally, I think he's too tough and stringy. Cat's probably got indigestion.
Well, if that cat does have indigestion, I think the best thing we can do is put him out of his misery. Tanner should be here today. Who's Tanner? Professional hunter. I wired him yesterday. Why?
That cat hit another steer yesterday, Nick.
That's no reason to call in a professional hunter.
Well, we're short-handed on the roundup now. We can't spare anyone.
Planning on getting that cat myself.
Oh, Nick, you can't be serious.
Nick, you get up on a horse and you'll shove those busted ribs right through your lungs. It's not likely.
Besides, I'm only bossing that roundup so as you can rest.
That's fine. You can boss the roundup. I'm going to get that cat. Sorry, Nick. You can't have him.
Mr. Tanner? My name is Jared Barkley. They told me at your hotel I'd find you here. If you don't mind, I'd like to have a little talk.
Mr. Barkley, I paid very good money for this private performance. So why don't you drink your wine and enjoy it, hmm?
Thank you very much. But if you don't mind, I would like to get right down to business.
I never mix business with pleasure, Mr. Barkley. And this is my pleasure.
Tell me, Mr. Tanner, how much longer does this performance last?
Another 2 hours.
Well, if you don't mind, I have some other things I'd like to take care of, so maybe you could meet me in my office after this is over with.
Relax, Mr. Barkley. Culture is good for the soul. You'll just try a little of this rice wine. I'll explain to you what's going on. That girl has just found a beautiful jade bracelet and is caught in the dilemma of whether to find the owner or keep it. What she does not know is the bracelet was left outside her door by a handsome young suitor. She couldn't accept an outright gift from him, so he has chosen this subterfuge to get it into her hands. She cannot resist it. And the young man, of course, can now announce that it is his gift. You see the subtlety of the Oriental mind, Mr. Barkley.
Oh, yes, perfectly.
Good.
Jared tells me you're quite a fan of the Chinese theater.
Well, I enjoy in life what I can afford. Good wine, good art, good people.
You hardly seem like a professional hunter.
Well, hunting is my business. Living is my pleasure.
Well, you come highly recommended.
And you are even more gracious and lovely than I'd been told.
Oh, Mr. Dana, you are a charming liar.
I would be if I had to, Mrs. Barkley. But in this case, lying is totally unnecessary.
Mr. Tanner, just when is it you plan to get started?
Before dawn.
Good. If you'll excuse me, I'm off to Sacramento in the morning, so I have to turn in early. Good night, Mother. See you at breakfast, Nick.
And I think it's about time for you to turn in, Nick.
I want to say something first.
Oh?
I'm going with Tanner tomorrow morning.
Nick.
Mr. Barkley, I think you'd better understand something. You can't come with me. I work alone.
I think you'd better understand something, Tanner. I was against hiring you in the first place. Now, there's nothing personal in that.
Even if I allowed you to come along, Mr. Barkley, you're in no shape for it.
I'm the best judge of that, don't you think?
Well, there's no point in pursuing this any farther. You hired me to hunt down the cat. That's what I'm going to do. Alone. Good night.
Nick, I thought we settled all this at breakfast. You were going to stay here and rest. Now,
Mother, I'm a fast mender. Probably a medical marvel.
Nick,
now, what do I have to do to convince you? Would you like me to run around the house a couple of times holding my breath? Or maybe you'd like to see me jump the corral fence? Oh, come on, Mother, stop frowning. Look at this smiling face. I'm the picture of health.
Nick, I won't buy it, Nick.
Mother, that cat hit at me, and I'm going to hit back.
Revenge. Oh, for heaven's sake, Nick, that cat is a dumb animal. You're a man with intelligence and reason. You don't need revenge.
It's getting late, and I got to get up pretty early in the morning. I best get some sleep. Good night.
Nick. There's more to it, isn't there?
It's just something I have to do. So. Good night.
What do you think you're doing?
Told you last night I'm going with you.
I said you weren't.
Well, here I am, right beside you.
Barkley, that is not an ordinary cat. A man wounded him once, or he wouldn't have attacked. And he'll attack again at the first smell of you.
Take my chances.
Oh, well and good. But there's the matter of me also. I've done this all my life. I know more than most, and that edge keeps me alive.
Well, I'm not about to take away that edge, Tanner.
But trying or not you will, you're a cripple and an amateur. I won't risk taking you along.
Well, then you best go back to the ranch and pick up your fee, because I'll go it alone anyway.
All right, Barkley. You want to track Cat? Come on. Tired, Barkley?
Not too tired to realize that you've been traveling in circles for the past hour.
Well, it's only a little over 3 miles back to the ranch. You could make it before noon.
If I was to turn back, but I'm not about to.
Why?
You quit stalling, Tanner. Let's get on with this.
I couldn't keep you from
coming along with me. It doesn't mean I have to explain my moves to you.
Uh-huh. Well, the way I got it figured is since that cat's been fired at the last 3 times he's been near the herd, he's probably gone up high and let things cool off a bit.
Well, that's pretty fair figuring, Mr. Barkley. Glad to see you're aware of what's happening.
Well, I was just checking to see that your thinking was correct, Mr. Tanner.
Well, since you're so knowledgeable on the subject, maybe you could tell me what my next move should be.
Well, I'd say since we think that the cat is in this area, it might be wise to stake out some fresh meat.
Not bad. As soon as I decide the right place to do that, I'll just give it a try.
Ci darem la mano, la mi dirai di sì. Vedi non è lontano, partiam bene mio da qui.
You don't like Mozart, Mr. Barkley?
No, it's just bad coffee, and I don't like waiting.
First rule of the hunter, Mr. Barkley, learn how to wait it out.
We staked fresh meat out for that cat 2 days ago, and he ain't showed up. I don't think he's anywhere in this area.
Well, I hope that cat isn't as impatient to get to you, Mr. Barkley, as you are to get to him. What the devil do you think you're doing?
The cat. Right over in the rocks. The cat.
That cat won't come near this fire, and you know it.
But I tell you, I saw him.
Barkley, the only cat around here is the one in your head.
Still say I didn't see that cat in the camp last night?
Well, since he supposedly was standing on the rocks where he couldn't leave tracks, you'll never know, will you?
You mean you'll never know?
He came down to feed from up there. You okay?
Yeah, I'm fine.
Sure, you're in great shape.
But I'm fine.
You're caving in. Now, why don't you sit down before you fall down? His legs hurt.
How bad?
Well, he won't be carrying you for a while. That meadow we came through a ways back, I saw a cabin. I'll take you there. Hello there.
What's happened to him?
Well, fate's played a cruel trick on my brave young friend here. His horse took a fall and went lame. He's got a couple of busted ribs. That's so. Yeah, a roof and bed would be most appreciated.
He does look in a bad way.
I only need a couple hours of rest, ma'am. This is my wife, Beth. Howdy.
Tanner is my name. This is Nick Barclay.
Maybe we should ask him in, Tom.
See what you can do for him.
Something wrong?
You, play poker?
Oh, yes. Little. Once in a while. Low stakes, of course.
Yeah. $20.
Well, now, I think I'll call.
Straight.
Yes, let's see. Now, you have a straight, and I have all hearts. Now, let me think. That's right. A flush beats a straight, doesn't it?
I gotta get some money out back.
Here. Try a little of this, Mr. Barclay.
What is it?
It's a special broth I fixed for
Oh.
you.
No, it's very good, thank you. Well, you're a generous and sweet angel of mercy, Mrs. Giles.
I'm not really Mrs. Giles.
You're not?
No. Mr. Giles won me from a saloon keeper in a poker game. I just thought you might be interested in knowing that. Now, drink your soup.
Ready?
Now, let's say we raise the ante, Mr. Tanner.
You mean play for more money?
It's a general idea.
Well, if you really want to, Mr. Giles.
Jared,
Good evening, Mrs. Barkley.
I didn't hear you ride up. How did everything go in Sacramento?
Once again, I must modestly admit that my brilliance as a barrister saved the Barkley family from total destruction.
Total destruction?
Well, maybe just a minor annoyance. Keith still on Roundup?
Mm-hmm.
How's Nick?
He's gone.
What do you mean gone? Gone where?
After the cat.
He went after that cat?
Mm-hmm.
When?
Shortly after you left for Sacramento.
Well, why didn't you try and stop him?
I didn't see him go.
Well, then how do you know he went after the cat?
Because I know.
Well, at least you could have done is sent somebody after him.
It wouldn't have done any good. I'm sure he's with Tanner.
The devil has gotten into him anyway. What suddenly is so almighty important about hunting down a cat?
What was so important when you went out to ride Lightning during the middle of winter last year?
Well, what's that got to do with this?
He doesn't see the comparison.
Well, that's odd. I see it very clearly. You wanted to break the horse. Instead, the horse broke your leg.
Well,
So at midnight, with your leg in splints, you sneak out of the house and climb on the poor animal's back.
maybe I was just trying to prove that I... And maybe I see the comparison after all.
We'll just have to wait until he gets back. We'll just have to wait.
Beth? You keep staring at me.
Sorry. I keep getting the feeling that maybe we've met before.
We haven't.
I don't usually forget a face.
You never forgot mine. Because you never saw it before. This is my hand, Tanner. This time, I got you beat.
Well, now, Mr. Giles, I've got your money, your horse, your saddle, your cabin.
Bet you 200.
But you haven't got 200.
I'm good for it.
Sorry, Mr. Giles, I never play on credit. However, it wouldn't seem fair not to give you a chance to recoup. So I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll call your 200 against your wife. If the lady is agreeable.
Well, if you're sure you've got him beat.
All right. All right. 3 aces.
I have 3 queens. And 2 9s.
You stinking... You cheated me!
Mr. Giles, what makes you say that?
You made me think you didn't know much about poker.
Mr. Giles, I never said I didn't know poker. I just didn't say how much. All right, Mr. Giles. Now, even though you are a very poor loser, I'm going to be very kind to you. I'm going to let you go over there and get that horse. Just the horse, because I'm going to keep the saddle. And I'm going to let you ride out of here, all right? All right.
All right.
What's happening?
Well, there he is. Oh, bright-eyed like a hungry fox. Did you sleep well, Mr. Barkley?
What's going on? What was all that fighting about?
The evils of gambling. He was a very poor loser.
Oh, well, we best get moving.
Right you are. But you have got to do one thing first.
What's that?
You have got to put your boots on.
Oh,
well, yeah. You kind of like him, don't you?
Yes.
Good. Then, keep him here.
You're leaving him with me?
Mm-hmm. He keeps chasing that cat in his condition, he'll kill himself.
Aren't you going to say goodbye to him?
No, it's best I don't. He can be a little stubborn sometimes. I'll, stop on my way back down the hill. You hear 3 shots, put the skillet on, because I'm going to be hungry. Oh, have fun.
I got a berry pie, Melvin.
Where's he going?
After the cat. What are you doing?
Saw a couple of wild horses in the meadow. I'm going to get me one.
But you're not well. And Mr. Tanner said for me to take care of you.
You tell Mr. Tanner that you tried. When I catch up with him.
Nick.
Oh. Just what do you plan to do with that?
Mr. Tanner said for me to keep you here.
Berry pie wouldn't work, so you figure the gun will, huh?
It's for your own good.
And you're the judge of what's best for me, huh?
What? But you're not thinking clear on account of you're sick.
Beth, if you're going to use that gun, you best go ahead and do it. Because I'm walking out of here.
guess my pa was right.
What about?
He always said that I was uglier than a mud fence.
Well, I'd say your father was either half blind or crazy.
I don't hardly remember. Ran off when I was 11. And I've seen a lot of ugly things since.
Beth, I don't know what you've seen, but you've gotten a lot prettier than that mud fence.
Then why you want to leave?
Well, I just have to finish what I started.
Stop on your way back?
Leave it.
Mr. Giles, where did you find that rifle?
There's more than one cabin in these hills.
Pays to know the territory. I suppose you want your money back.
Mostly. I want your hide.
You know that feeling I had about knowing you before? Now I know where I saw your face.
They say a man's memory improves sometimes. Just before he dies.
Stanton. Ted Stanton. And your face was on a wanted poster in Stockton.
You'll recall, I used this on more than one man.
You know the law has thought you dead for a long time.
I was living a quiet life. You took my comforts. Shamed me in front of my woman. I hope you're ready for your comforts.
Put that rifle down. Put down that rifle.
How long were you standing there?
Long enough for him to put a slug in you.
Well, why did you stop him?
That's a very interesting question. It'll take a few seconds to think of a very interesting answer.
Barkley, you're asking for trouble. You know that, don't you? You don't hunt a cat with a spooky horse.
Nothing wrong with this horse.
Oh, sure. Saddle on its back for a couple of weeks, it'll be fine, but right now you two are strangers.
We'll get acquainted.
There's no time. That cat's pretty close. Now, if you can't control that animal, we could get in trouble.
That's my worry. Let's move out.
You know, Barkley, you're not a coward. That cat's close.
I guess you're right about this horse. I'll tie him off down below.
Now that you've satisfied your soul, you up to filling your belly? I promised that angel of mercy I'd fire 3 shots so she could put the skillet on for us. Jammed. It's jammed.
How long has it been jammed?
I guess we'll never know. Well, I suppose it was meant to be, Nick.
What's that?
It was your cat.
Yeah. It was my cat.
Thanks for stopping them horses. Get on down there. Come on. Where are you going? Get over there and get that stage. Come on, old man. Hurry it up!
You cover him, Wilt. I'll get the box. After that gold shipment, I'm afraid you're a bit late.
Shut up.
There ain't no gold in here.
Go look in the boot.
Driver mentioned it went out yesterday.
Well, he's telling the truth.
All right, get your boots off. Get them off or you'll die in them. All right, get walking. Get walking, go on.
Didn't turn out too good. I sure did have my heart set on some gold. We're just gonna have to go down to Stockton and get it.
Hey!
Grady!
Would you mind going to the next window? I was just Oh, well now.
We'd like to open up an account.
An account? Well, yes, ma'am. You've come to the right bank and the right window. Oh, if you'll just fill out this form.
It's just one thing. We heard tell there's been some robberies around here. Is this bank safe? You sure of that?
You got a good, strong vault.
Well, there it is, right there. It's the latest. Came all the way from St. Louis. If it wasn't safe, you can bet the Cattlemen's Association wouldn't put their money in it every Friday.
Sure looks strong.
We have a deputy making the rounds every night also. Every hour on the hour.
On the hour. Well, I'm glad to hear that. Sign the papers, Grady.
There's a pen right over there. You and your husband are going to live nearby?
Well, it depends if we can find the property that we're looking for. And he's my brother, not my husband.
Oh. Well, if I may offer my services, perhaps I could have the pleasure of showing you around some afternoon. There are some very, very fine places for sale.
I don't know if a lady would be safe with you when you're out of your cage.
Oh.
Well, I'll let you know. Grady, you can take me to lunch. Him and his old vault. Came all the way from St. Louis.
Hey, maybe we ought to send him a letter back there, you know, complimenting him on it and all. After we bust it open.
Well, you pay the check. And be sure and leave a big tip. We're gonna be able to afford it.
Jesse? Come on, we go get supplies.
No, you go get him. I got a hankering for some 5-card draw poker.
You gonna play poker? Dilly, you make yourself noticeable.
People notice me anyhow.
Well, yeah, Carl and Wilt are waiting first.
I'll be out later. Besides, I feel lucky today. Room for another hand.
The game is poker, young lady, not parcheesi.
I think I'll sit right here.
We won't feel a bit good taking your money, ma'am.
Name's Dilly. Dilly Shanks. And I won't feel a bit bad about taking yours.
Playing cards with a woman, that's no game.
Whose deal?
Yours. We each get 5 cards.
$1 ante, 5's the limit. If that don't scare you off now.
Deal.
How many, cowboy?
I'll try 2.
I ain't even gonna try.
2.
And, I think I'll help myself to one. Your bet, cowboy.
Looks like today's not my day.
Oh, day's not over yet.
Well, let's play cards. $1.
You got yourself bet, mister. And a raise.
You're bluffing, that's what I think.
I'm bluffing? Raise me.
Or call.
Feel that straight, slick as butter.
Yeah, it was slick, all right, just like every other hand you've dealt.
Now, you trying to tell me something, mister?
I think you've been ginnying up the cards. That's what I think.
You said that nice and loud. Now, don't you keep me waiting too long for an apology.
Well, I,
Come on, mister. You can speak a lot plainer than that.
apologize.
Why, thank you.
Well, I guess that ends the game. Say, Heath, you gonna have time to help me with that fencing tomorrow? Or do your feet hurt you too much?
Nothing wrong with my hands. I'll tackle that section down by the Sawmill Bridge.
Thanks, Heath. Miss Dilly, if you'll excuse me.
You work for him?
No, he's a neighbor. Just helping out.
They say God helps them that helps themselves.
Pretty hard-hearted, aren't you?
As I have to be, when I have to be. Anyways, that critter ought to know it ain't right to call a lady a cheat.
I think he just learned that lesson.
I tell you what, Heath. My, that sure is a pretty name. Seeing that I'm the big winner, how about me buying you a drink?
No, thanks. I gotta be going. But, when I'm ready, I'll buy you that drink, Miss Dilly.
Ain't you boys got nothing better to do than sit around soaking up whiskey?
Well, you wouldn't let us go into town. What'd you want us to do? Sit around and crochet doilies?
Isn't that funny? That's funny, Will.
Hush up. You two go into town, you get into nothing but trouble.
Took you so long. And we want to do that bank and get out of here.
I wanted some money. That's what took me so long. Besides, we're gonna let that bank wait.
Wait. We know how to get in and out of there. What do we got to wait for?
Grady, you wouldn't know beans in a bag. You heard the teller blabbing about the Cattlemen's Association making a big deposit on Friday?
Yeah, maybe so, but I sure get jumpy having to hang around.
Yeah, me too, Dilly. Why don't we just grab that gold like we planned and be on our way?
And just forget about the extra money. Not buy a jugful. We'll take the bank on Friday.
But I don't like it around here.
Well, I do. So that settles that.
Where's it hurt?
Oh, I think it's my knee.
I'll try not to move it.
Oh.
What happened?
Oh, my horse, it just ran off.
The horse doesn't look too wild to me.
Well, who knows what goes on in a horse's head?
Or in a woman's.
Well, it could have happened.
I doubt it. I don't think too many horses got the nerve to run away with you.
You know, I'm beginning to like it around here more and more.
Well, you planning on settling here?
Well, my brother Grady and I are looking for some land to buy. We aim to be real neighborly. You married?
Nope.
Promised anyone?
No?
Well, how about you being real neighborly? And, well, you must know some places around here for sale. How about showing me a few?
Maybe, if you promise to teach me to play poker like that.
Well, my daddy was a gambler on them Mississippi riverboats. They used to call him Velvet Harry because he dressed so well and had such good manners. He used to have his hair cut twice a week. And he sure knew his way around a deck of cards. Well, ever since I was just little Dickens, he used to play with me. I think the first words I ever learned were, ante up, folks.
Well, I'll tell you what, Dilly. I was just about ready to finish up here. If you're heading into town, well, I'll buy you that drink now. How would you like a nice lemonade?
Lemonade? Why, yes. I think I'd like that.
Going to the bank with me, Audrey?
Oh, no, thank you. I want to look at some clothes.
Got enough clothes on from Europe to sink the boat.
I said look, not buy. See you at Jared's.
Excuse me. I was just about to try that on. What do you think?
I think it's very becoming, but I think it could be straightened a little.
Well, maybe you could use some straightening yourself.
You did ask me.
I wasn't talking about the hat. I was talking about you and Heath.
Well, what about us? Who are you?
I happen to be a very close acquaintance of his, if you want to know.
A close acquaintance?
More than a close acquaintance, if you want to know. And I'm telling you, whoever you may be, that you just better keep away from him or you're going to be sorry.
I gather you have a romantic interest in him, Miss
Shanks. And you gather rightly. Now, look, I don't aim to get ugly about this. It's just that, well, we have an understanding, that's all.
I see. Well, you certainly don't have to worry about me, Miss Shanks. I could never be a rival of yours.
Glad to hear it. Besides, Heath and I, we plan to see a lot more of each other. So if you'll just excuse me, I have some things to buy.
Then she said you'd better keep away from him or you'll be sorry.
Well, you should have told her that you were his sister. Audrey, you could have been shot stone cold dead.
I didn't think of that.
Well, you know what they say. Hell hath no fury like a...
For a minute there, I thought I forgot to put my pants on. Morning.
Morning.
Say, Nick, I won't be able to check out that will this afternoon.
Oh, it can wait. You, have something more interesting to do?
I promised to show somebody around the old Webster place.
Anyone I know?
I don't think so. Pass it, Butter.
It's right in front of you.
Good morning.
Morning.
Good morning.
Morning, Mother.
Good morning, Heath.
Morning.
Well, I know it's very early in the morning, but I detect something's going on. What is it?
Nothing, really. I was just about to tell Heath I met a friend of his yesterday in town, a Miss Shanks. She seems to think quite a lot of him.
Was that right? Pass the sugar.
Right in front of you.
Oh, more than that. She just about challenged Audrey here to a duel.
I understand Audrey wouldn't stand a chance. She draws like a hired gun.
Well, she sounds like a fascinating creature. I'd like to meet her.
Oh, we'd all like to meet her.
Meantime, why don't we let Heath have his breakfast in peace?
Yes, we ought to let him have a peaceful breakfast. Because he's probably in for an exciting afternoon.
Of course, it'll be a lot of work, but there's water here, and that's the main thing.
Water, that's the main thing.
How many head of cattle your brother figured on running?
Well, I don't know for sure. You like this place, Heath?
Well, who wouldn't? It's some of the best land in the valley.
You ever think about settling down? Having a place of your own?
Oh, I've got my own place.
You do?
My family and I, we run a few head.
Family. That ain't the same as having a place of your own. You know, like a man and a woman having theirs.
You ever think about that?
Well, it passes through my head every once in a while.
Funny. I never thought about such a thing in my whole life before.
Yeah, well, guess we better be getting back, huh?
I sure do like you, Heath.
Thank you, Dilly. I like you.
Well, that ain't what I mean. What I mean is, well, I guess I mean I love you.
Love me? We just met.
Oh, don't you go laughing at me. Well, I know it ain't a girl's place to be saying it first, but when I have something on my mind, I say it right out. Okay?
Okay.
Well, if you're surprised, it ain't nothing compared to what I am. Why, if somebody told me I'd be feeling this way, but I do. That's all there is to it. Why else would I feel like, well, like there's a big bell ringing inside me every time I even just think about you? Do you love me, Heath? Just a little bit? Well, you don't have to answer that. Not yet. All I know is that I love you, that I want you, and that I'm gonna have you. Hey, that wasn't so bad, was it?
No, Dilly, that was nice.
Well, now you understand how things are.
I don't think you understand. When I love a woman, it's got to be in my own time.
Why, sure, Heath. Take your time. Take all the time you want.
And it's got to be in my own way. And she's just got to let it happen. And I've got to do all the courting.
Sure, Heath. You can't help the way you feel, neither. I understand.
Let's get back.
Where'd you swipe that thing?
I didn't swipe it, I bought it. Hey, get your hands off that. I don't want you to mark the trim.
What'd you go spend all our money for? You don't need a saddle like that. Besides, it's kind of big for you, ain't it?
Quit your bleating. It ain't for me.
Well, who's it for, then?
A personal friend of mine. Not that it's any of your howdy-do. Hey, just what I've been aiming to do. Take a bath.
Well, now, wait a minute. It's my turn now.
After me.
You figuring on giving this saddle to that big cowboy you've been seeing? You must be pretty sweet on him. You know he was one of them passengers on the stage, don't you?
I was wondering where I seen him before. Now, as to whether I am sweet on him or not, what if I am?
Oh, well, no one's saying that you can't have your fun, Dilly. You done it before. It's just that you start getting serious, and that's trouble. That's nothing but trouble. You gotta remember that we got that bank waiting for us, and then we're on our way.
Well, I guess this is as good a time as any to tell you. I'm staying in Stockton.
And what kind of talk is that?
Dilly, what are you going to do in Stockton over there by yourself?
That's just plain dumb.
It ain't so dumb to own your own ranch. There's a place around here I can get reasonable. Besides, I'm getting married soon.
You? Married? That's pretty good.
Did he ask you?
Just about. Well, he ain't the type that goes around passing out proposals to every girl he meets. But he's just as good as told me that we'll be getting married soon.
You know that there ain't no cowboy makes enough money to keep a wife, especially one like you.
He's got some land of his own, and a few head. That, on top of what I intend to buy for us, do pretty good.
Well, let me see now. You plan on settling down and working a few acres of land and running a few head and living happily ever after, huh?
You just called the turn, Grady. Me and Heath, we're gonna settle down, work the spread, put in a few saddle stock, and the best breed of cattle. And I'm gonna have my own garden, just outside the kitchen. But naturally, someday, we'll have a few children, 5 or 6. And they'll work right alongside their daddy.
Can we come see you?
Sure, but I don't want you hanging around too long.
That is nice. That's nice. That's real pretty. But where you gonna get the money for this ranch?
From my share of the bank on Friday. That's still on. I'm going with you. It's just going to be my last time, that's all. Then you boys are going to be out on your own.
Let's us get out of here and give her a little privacy.
Grady, what are we gonna do without Dilly? And you know she's the one who does all the figuring.
There ain't no reason why we can't do all right without her.
You think that you're fooling yourself? We ain't nothing without her. You know it.
Maybe she'll let me come stay with her when she gets married.
She ain't getting married.
Well, Grady, you heard what she said.
I said she ain't getting married. We're gonna make sure that that cowboy don't marry nobody's sister.
You sure put in a hard day's work. My daddy always says a man works from sun up to sundown. There's a man you can trust with your life.
Your father said that?
Oh, he lived by it, too. Had to, being the boss of a lumber company.
I guess that was before he became a riverboat gambler?
I never could remember which one was first. Come here. How you like the saddle, Heath?
Well, that's probably the fanciest saddle I ever saw in my life.
It's yours.
Dilly, I can't accept this.
Well, why not? That rig of yours is all worn out.
Well, that's not it. A girl giving a man an expensive gift like that, well, it just isn't right.
Well, I don't see why not. You care for somebody. You just naturally want to give them things.
Dilly, if anyone around here is going to be given presents, it's going to be me.
You want to repay me for it? You can take me out to dinner. And I do mean dinner. Let's see, steaks, wine, lots of them fancy little cakes.
Dilly, this saddle's worth 1,000 dinners.
You just talked me into it. 1,000 dinners, starting tonight.
But, Dilly, there are a few things we got to talk about.
Later, after dinner. Come on.
Beautiful, Heath.
Yes, it is.
A gift from someone?
How'd you know?
Because I know you, and that's not the kind of a saddle you'd buy for yourself. From Dilly?
Yep.
Well, she must think an awful lot of you.
I guess so.
And you, Heath?
She's not like any girl I ever met, Mother. She's one of a kind.
I've heard stories.
Well, they're true. She's as ladylike as a rebel yell. She gambles. She chases a man instead of the other way around. She says exactly what she feels. I guess you might say she's like a little girl. Just plumb full of surprises. You never know what she's going to do next. But when I'm with her, I don't know. I feel like smiling all the time.
But you're returning the saddle?
Well, it's the third time today I've loaded it up. I don't want to hurt her feelings, but I can't accept this.
Otherwise, she'll think you feel something you really don't. Huh?
That's exactly it, Mother. And whatever it is I feel, I don't think it's love.
Then she has a right to know that, if you're sure.
I'm sure.
Is this the Heath Barkley Ranch?
This is the Barkley Ranch, miss.
All of it?
From the gate.
The one back yonder about 5 miles?
That's the one.
Oh, wait.
Mrs. Barkley, this young lady's looking for Mr. Heath.
He left for town.
Oh. Oh, well, that's all right. I was just out riding and I thought I'd drop by. But it's okay, because he's going to be taking me out to dinner tonight.
You must be Miss Shanks.
Dilly.
Please, come in and have some coffee with me.
Oh, all right.
Silas.
He must have told you about me.
A little.
Well, he ain't exactly talkative. Not like I am. I think maybe that's one of the reasons I feel about him the way I do. Anyway, I could never get along with anybody like me.
You're in love with Heath, aren't you?
Yes, ma'am. And that's coming straight out with him. And I'll tell you something else. He loves me, too. And one of these days, we aim to be married.
Oh?
Well, he hasn't exactly come out with it yet. But he's sure been hitting around.
Miss Shanks, Dilly, I know Heath pretty well. And he's not the kind that hints around. Are you really sure he feels this way?
Well, I know him pretty well, too. And I say we aim to be married. And I hope you ain't gonna talk against it.
No, I'd be happy to welcome any girl of Heath's choice. It's just that I feel...
Well, maybe you don't think I'm good enough for a place like this. Well, let me tell you, my daddy was in the cotton business down south, and we had a house big as this, even bigger.
Well, it's not a question of a house or how big it is. I'm talking about Heath's feelings for you. You see, Dilly, when you love somebody and you want a future with them, it's very easy to misunderstand. Do you know what I'm trying to say?
I know what you're talking about. I ain't that green. You just don't take to me. Well, that's plain. But it ain't gonna stop us.
No, Dilly, no, you're mistaken.
You pick a fight with me, Mrs. Barkley, and you're gonna lose. And maybe even get hurt in the bargain.
That's him.
Came from.
Hey, he's got somebody with him.
We'll get him, too.
Hey, that's Dilly. Wilt, I'm getting out of here now.
Bet you could have taken care of them yourself, Heath. But I sure am glad I come right. Something wrong?
You always clean a gun like that, Dilly?
Well, my daddy used to teach the Army how to use and protect their weapons. So every time I shoot.
Every time you shoot?
Well, when I'm out hunting and all. Heath, what's the matter?
You said you came in on that stage Thursday morning. You and your brother?
I don't recollect that.
You don't recollect saying it, or you don't recollect coming in on that stage Thursday?
Come to think of it, I couldn't have been on the stage Thursday. That was the day there was some sort of fuss. You were on the stage Thursday.
Well, no, I don't recollect saying that.
Well, I just
There was talk. Yes, that's it. We come in Friday morning.
You came in on the stage Friday morning?
Mm-hmm.
Dilly, there's no stage into Stockton until late Friday afternoon. Now, who are those men?
How should I know?
Because they stopped shooting when they saw you. 4 riders who held up that stage. Their leader cleaned a gun like you just did.
You're talking crazy.
I don't think so, Dilly. It was you who led those riders. It was you who killed that stage driver. Now, those men, who are they?
Them 3's my brothers.
And the 4 of you, a gang. How long you been in this business?
Ever since we found out farming a Hard Rock farm was as good as being dead.
So you took up robbing and killing people?
That's right. We did. I've been all over, seen plenty, had exciting times, and I liked it. That's the truth. I did like it. I guess we just weren't the type to sit on a Hard Rock farm and without a dime in our pockets.
So to put a dime in your pocket, your brothers are ready to kill for $6.20. That's exactly what I've got on me.
That ain't why they bushwhacked you. They tried to kill you because of me. I told them that we were getting married.
Married? How could you tell them that? You know that's not true.
But you don't understand, Heath. I'm giving up all that wife stuff. I'm gonna settle down and make you a good wife.
Tilly, just because you want something, that doesn't mean that's the way things are.
Well, what about the Webster place? You said you liked it, and you said you want to settle down someday and be married. Nobody'd try and make you a better wife than me, Heath. I swear it. Besides, I never met anybody like you before. I'd do anything for you. I'm so in love with you.
Dilly, I'm not in love with you. And even if I could be, that changes everything. Can't you see that?
Sure you're not in love with me. Rich folks never take to anybody but their own kind. I seen that big house of yours and that fancy butler. What would you want with plain folks like me?
Dilly, I saw you kill a man.
Forget that.
I don't think I could.
Well, I help you forget it, Heath. Heath, I've changed. I know I have. I'd do anything in the world for you. I'd be anything. Please help me, Heath.
I'm sorry, Dilly. I'd like to walk away and forget I ever met you, but I can't.
Turn round. You would have turned me in, wouldn't you?
I'd have turned you in.
You just gotta naturally tell the truth, don't you?
Killing me's not going to change things.
Well, it might make me feel a whole lot better. Now, I've got another plan for you, so you just get on. Come on, move. Time up, Will.
Get on over there.
Up against the post.
Put your hands behind your back.
Time up. Well, now, Dilly, isn't that a funny way to treat your intended?
Don't you give me none of your jaw. He ain't gonna be nobody's intended.
And what's he doing here?
We're gonna use him when we take the bank.
Use him?
Ain't you got nothing in that head of yours? With him around, nobody's gonna start shooting at us.
Boy, you sure singing a different tune about him now, ain't you?
You never mind my tune. He tried to make a fool out of me, and I don't take that off nobody.
Tried to. I think he done it.
Look, you said all you're gonna say on that, because I don't want to hear no more about it. No, sir. Nobody at that bank's gonna start shooting at him. Him and his family own half of this valley.
What are you gonna do with him when we're through?
Well, there'll probably be some shooting there. He's liable to be hit by a stray bullet while we're riding out, huh?
Grady? That's the best idea you had all year.
Well, I sure didn't expect him home early.
From what I saw of Dilly, saying goodnight's not going to be that easy.
Pretty girl, full moon shining down. Could have just changed his mind, you know.
You wouldn't have heard thunder. Go on.
Huh?
Go on!
What? Oh, sit up, have a cowboy tie up.
You know, this is plain crazy, Dilly. I know that bank. It's too well guarded. You'll never get away with it.
Well, if you'd loved me like I loved you, none of this would have happened.
I can't help the way I feel.
Well, you never gave it a chance. I know I done some bad things. I ain't saying anything different. But I got some good in me, Heath. I know I do. If you'd just taken to me, all that good would have come pouring out. You wouldn't have noticed anything else.
It just doesn't work that way, Dilly.
Well, that's all you can say, ain't it? Well, I wouldn't take your love now if you offered it to me on a silver tray. Trouble with you is you don't know what a woman is. A real woman, like me.
I know you're a real woman, Dilly.
You don't know nothing. You ever been kissed like this? Or like this?
All right, Dilly. We're getting out of here right now.
Will! Carl! Will! Carl! Brady!
What's the matter? What happened?
We best hightail it out of here. Come on, Dilly. Oh, Dilly, he wasn't worth it. I'm glad it's over.
It ain't over yet.
Dilly!
Not until I give him one last thing to remember me by.
But he's gone. Dilly, he's got our fastest horse, and we can't catch him in the dark.
The ranch is there. It hasn't moved. Mr. Heath Barkley won't be so high and mighty with that fancy house of his a pile of ashes.
You mean burn him out?
Right down to the ground.
Dilly, he's going to get the sheriff. We got no time.
We got time. They ain't gonna look for us there. Now look, you don't want to come along. You get your own self out of this fix.
Well, we best be fast about it then. Come on.
Mother, why don't you go on to bed? I'll turn those out.
I thought you'd gone to sleep.
No, I felt a little restless, so I thought I'd do some work on the payroll.
Good night.
Good night.
I'll take the ball. You get the house. Go. Leave it burn. I said leave it.
Let's get out of here. Tilly. Dilly?
Keith Barkley. I could have made you. But that's why.
I just talked to the sheriff. He caught Dilly's brothers.
I didn't think they'd make it without her.
Well, perhaps Dilly would have made it if she hadn't come back for you.
Never did get around to returning the saddle.
Why didn't you?
I don't know. Say, you going for a ride?
Mm-hmm.
You know, I got 100 things to do, but mind if I go along?
I was just about to ask you.